Whenever you mention Hunter's laptop and then use the word exposure, that conjures up some ugly images. But I actually retain access to a copy of the hard drive of Hunter Biden's laptop to this day. But I was originally brought into this by Jack Maxey and Steve Bannon back when Maxey and Bannon were working together. Folks who followed the Laptop Saga. The laptop was turned over by the laptop repair guy to the FBI, but he maintained a copy of the hard drive because he had seen enough on the hard drive to understand, at least generally, that there's some evidence of serious crimes here. And then that, I believe, made its way to Giuliani, and from there to Steve Bannon. The hard drive was imaged, if you will, copied multiple times here, so this is not just one such drive. It ended up very quickly in the hands, anyway, of Steve Bannon and Jack Maxey. And I had a relationship with them. In other words, I knew them. I had been on the program. And they asked me to come down to D.C. and look at it. And this is, I think, critical for people to understand. They asked me to come down to look at it because they wanted to be sure that what they had was something authentic, that they were not being played, that they were not pawns in some kind of game. And so they brought me down. I drove down immediately and then basically sat up all night in the townhouse in D.C. looking at this thing. They also had another gentleman who was more of a technical guy come in. And there was no sort of, this is the conclusion we want you to reach kind of thing. It was, tell us, what do we got here? Are we being played? Is this the Russians, the Chinese, somebody? Is this a game? Because if so, we're not interested in being used. Or is this thing for real? My response pretty quickly, frankly, to them was, it would be impossible to fake what you have. I said to them literally, if I was still operational and you told me at the agency we want to do this to some other guy, I would have told you, you can't do that. Can I fabricate an email and stick it on a laptop? Maybe. Even that's not as simple as you might think, because there are a lot of things that have to line up for that to be authenticated. But the contents of this are just too many variables. So I told them straight up from the beginning, yeah, 100%, this is real. Anybody who says to the contrary either has no idea what they're talking about or is deliberately